Hi there, welcome to Memory Book. Today I'm going to show you how to get started on your yearbook. First things first is you're going to want to type in memoryebooks.com in your internet browser. This is going to take you to your user login. For this demo, I'm going to select 2023. Then I'm going to type in my job number. Right here is your username and password. You are going to receive all three of these items from your yearbook representative. In the event you forget your password, you can click this link and it will send you an email on how to reset it. Let's get started. Once you log in, it's going to take you to your yearbook dashboard. For this purpose, it's just a demo, so it doesn't really have any relevant information. But once you log in, you're going to have a little snapshot of important reminders, like your due date countdown, how many pages you've worked on, upcoming events. Sometimes you can get reminders from your representative, like your cover is due. You can also set reminders for your students. And these two dashboards, tagged images and images, we're going to cover those at a later date, but those pertain to more or less your images and your image library. So the first thing I really want to dive into today to get started is your plan tab. The most important thing of your book is basically your page ladder, because that basically sets the tone of your book. It is the template and how you want to tell the story of your year. I like to think of it as a chapter book almost, like we have an opening and we have an end, and we're building the characters throughout the book. You know, as far as we're introducing, let's say in elementary school, we're introducing you to each grade level. And a lot of times at the beginning of books, we will show like important events that happened and took place. So you have a choice here. You can do your book. Some high schools do seasons. They do fall, winter, spring. But mostly what I see is more of like a, where your page ladder is in sections. And so with every chapter book or every story, we have an opening. So as you can see here, I typed in opening. I did a description as title page. You also have the ability then to assign it to a staff member. It's assigned to me. If you had more than one staff member, you could assign it to them. So for here, then I typed in admin. I'm going to have my admin and faculty be on pages 2 and 3. Then, like I said, I'm going to get into the school events that happened for the entire school. So I'm going to have this section be student life. It's going to be a double page spread, meaning that I have 2 pages dedicated to back to school. Okay, and then I'm going to assign it to me. You don't really need to assign it to anybody, but that's, if you're working alone, but that's important if you're working with students. So as you can see, none of this is assigned, but this is the most important thing you want to do at the beginning of the year is start your page ladder. Because again, you want to set the tone on what kind of pictures you need, when events are going to happen, because there's nothing worse than learning that an event isn't going to happen. And now we have to move all these pages around because the event was canceled. So I would recommend getting in touch with the admin and teachers to kind of see what events are going to happen this year. I know things have been crazy in the past with COVID as far as what's happening and what isn't, but I feel like a lot of events are now happening. So you just want to make sure that you have enough space allocated in your book, because again, once you have designed pages, it's a little bit harder and complicated to move stuff around. So next thing, you want to make sure that you hit save all, because otherwise none of this information would save that I typed in. Okay, here we go. So print, you do have the ability, when you hit this print all button, it will generate a PDF of all of your pages. So let's say you need to get approval from admin or teachers on certain pages, you would click that. It does take some time to generate, but I know some schools want another second of eyes to look at it. So you would print those out, that PDF, possibly once you're finalized with your book. You can always print your ladder by clicking here. and it's just a snapshot of your letter. So I always like to do that because then I can write notes and it's easier to move stuff around. Or if you want to share it with students or share it, you know, with other people that are helping you with the book. Okay, so this button right here, I can hit select all. And you can see I selected all 96 of my pages. So I have actions. I have things I can do all at once by selecting this. I can put all of my pages into a complete. And when I mean complete is that they're done. So right now I'm getting these errors because these pages aren't done. It's telling me you have empty image boxes and whatnot. So that's another thing. What's nice is it's not going to let you submit something where it sees an error, but that would be, you could select all, you could complete. So you can return, meaning you want to get these pages back. You can submit, you can lock and unlock. And so how you would also manually unlock and lock is you would see this little lock right here. You can just click on it and now I've locked the page. Nobody can edit it. They can view it, but they can't edit it. But this is just another way of doing that. So if I want to manually just hit complete instead of doing this check, I would hit complete, but again, it won't let me because it knows, hey, this page isn't finished. You have all these empty boxes. So we can get into the complete status. This will not show up until you've actually started working on a page. So you can see I haven't started this. This is only once there's actual content on the page. I don't have a page done, but once I hit complete and then there's no errors, the page is ready, then you can hit return. And then you can hit submit. And then it would go to the plant for us to start working on it. In the event you hit complete and you want it back, you have the option to return it before it's submitted. I know that seems a little complicated right now, but we can dive deeper into that in another video. Okay, display range. I don't want to look at all 96 pages. So I want to look at just 1 to 16. There we go. Okay. And a lot of times too, I can filter staff members. So I'm going to do Kimberly Lofgren right now. I only have 3 assigned to me. So if you want to check out individual students and whatnot and see what they're doing, this is an easy way to go back and forth and see who's working on their pages and not. Okay, so mostly all your pages are going to be color, so you don't need to worry about that. But you can do, you know, different filters here. All page statuses and all lock statuses. So I only have that 1 page locked. Okay. Next is page mover. So let's say I want to move pages 8 over here before pages 6. I just click it. I just drag and drop like that. There we go. Yes. Okay. Let's say I want to just move 1 page. I would switch to single view and then drag and drop. This does get complicated though, so it's very, again, important that you have your ladder in order. But yes, we can move pages. It just gets complicated if they share backgrounds and templates and whatnot. Sometimes we have to split it, but you do have a way to move stuff around. Okay, so we're going to go back to the page ladder. So that's really the most important thing about your book. This is where you're going to go in and start editing your pages. So if I wanted to click here, I would start designing. There is another way to get to this, but most of my time when I spend designing my book, I always start in my page ladder. I like to get a good glimpse of what, you know, everything that's going on. All right, so the next thing in our plan tab is staff. So right now I'm the advisor. If you need to add any other helpers or students, you would just hit staff. And so I'm going to add somebody. I usually like to put first name, last name, first initial, last name. You can just set your password. Let's see. It has all these minimums now. and it will tell you the criteria. Okay. You do want to put email in case you can see all my emails. I apologize for that. You do want to put an email that way. And like I said, if you ever need to reset it, and then the role, the different roles. So an advisor, you have most access to everything. A business manager is someone who's handling more of your sales. Your editor, they're going to have more access than a staff member, but not as much as an advisor. Most of your students are going to be staff members, so I'm just going to make this person a staff member. They're not going to see anything with finances and whatnot. Okay, so you can also see view activity. So I can see that right now I'm the only person working on the book, but let's say that Jim Smith was working on it, then I could go, this person hasn't worked on it at all. So you can, again, use filters and filter role. Let's see. So I don't have any editors, but let's say I want to do staff. I guess that didn't work. There we go. I guess we would probably have to have more people entered for that to work. But right now, if you just want to filter in between, I do know for this purpose, the username does work. Okay. And you can also export this to Excel. So a lot of times when students are saying, I'm working on the book, you can say, well, no, actually, you haven't touched this page since December. It's March. You know, we really need to get started. Okay, so let's see. Next is staff. So I can email all of my staff from here as well. And so I guess the most important thing is adding your staff. Then plan fonts. Let's see. So what we recommend is that you have no more than 5 fonts in your book. Otherwise, it just gets complicated. You want things to kind of flow and have a little bit of a theme. So I would work with your staff or your, you know, if it's just you, pick some fonts that work well and complement each other. And then how you would activate them is you would just slide this over and now it's active. So a lot of times, you know, there's some great fonts in here. Let's see. I may want to work with like a font family. So I may just want to have all of these go live. And then it also gives you a display of what it looks like as well over here. You can also sort by type. You know, so that's always helpful. You don't really want your captions or whatnot to have a decorative font. So it's important the type of font as well. You can just do a quick search. See, it's not a decorative. I can do, let's see if that will come in. Oops. Let's see what I have here. So it went right to it. I can activate it. Okay. Next is styles. You can set, and you can see this here too. There's a tab for it there, but you can get right to it from the fonts. You can set your styles. So your body copy, captions, headlines, subheadlines, and I don't really use taglines. So I would say these 4 are the most important, but that way it's already set when your students, you want everyone to use the same body copy. So I'm gonna, you know, everything's the same. Right now it's set at Foundation Roman, but I can change it. I want my body copy to be at 12, save. So that way, when I'll show you exactly what I mean by this and how it's set. So when I go to work on a page and I believe we just set the body copy, I just drag and drop. And you can see it's already set at what I set, you know, have it at. And then they can change it if they really wanted to, but then they don't have to worry about it. Your students know automatically, like, okay, it's already set. They're not messing with the fonts and the font sizes. So that's always nice to have those styles set. And the next thing, so again, you can get to styles. We're going to leave there. You can get to styles here. And you can add a style if you needed to, like you want more than one headline. You want more than one sub headline. So then they have a little bit of a variety, I guess, per se. I think it works that way, but it sounds like you can add more than one. I've never really done that, so I hope I'm not confusing you. Let's see if that worked. Yes, it did. There we go. I've usually just used one, but it does have the ability to do both. Okay, so plan, Replayit. This is wonderful. We don't have an app that people download. We have private submission sites. Customers, our students, our parents, they don't want another thing on their phone. So this also protects the photos and whatnot. We just know it's a safe thing. And this is just a way that your students, parents, and other people taking photos can upload if you want to activate this. So Replayit private photo submission. I do want to activate it. I'm going to have it start on when I'm just going to set it for this. So, and then I want it turned off. Maybe my deadline is in April, but I'm just going to put like mid-March, and that's plenty of photos. And do I want this site enabled? Yes. So I'm going to save it. Oops, I typed my deadline in wrong. Sorry, y'all. Okay, so, and 2023, March, we'll say the 15th. Oh, it doesn't matter, we'll do the 25th. Save. Now that worked. Okay, so then you could copy this. Well, this is your user ID that it gave you. That's a really interesting long number. And it's probably because this is a demo site, but your user ID will be something much smaller, just like a 6-digit number. But I will have here's the link to the site. Okay, so then my user ID, I would put it here. And I can also pass out a Replayit flyer, and you would have your user ID here, and then you can save your submission deadline. Right now, again, this is just a demo site, and you can share this via social media, or I don't know if I go about printing all these. I probably wouldn't do that, but you can share it on your website or in emails and whatnot to get the word out to parents and to students. So that is it for now. Again, the most important thing at the beginning of your year is setting up this ladder, and then you are set to start creating. I look forward to helping you with other videos soon. Enjoy your back to school. Thanks.